And when you have frozen pie crust in the freezer ready to go, you can just whip out a quick dessert with a jar of pie filling or even store-bought. Learn to get in the habit of rather keeping some pie filling on your shelf, and let's just make a quick dessert. Got a bunch of kids coming and family coming for the weekend, and so I just need to make this quickly, all right? I am basically, instead of making a pie crust or a rustic tart, I'm gonna show you how I will make a rectangle pie bars. And this is gonna be probably blueberry. So I'm just gonna roll this out on a piece of parchment. And I think you've heard me say before, I put my parchment upside down so that it wants to fold outward. And it just makes it stay to my pan. Put it on my pan, just to save myself some dishes, make it easy, keep me in a rectangle. I'm just gonna roll it out. Slightly on the thin side, but I want them to cut nice, so. If you need a little flour, you can add some. I'm gonna try not to. And mine's not a super good rectangle, so this is literally what I do. I cut some off, I get my edges a little straighter, I add it where it needs to go, and I just get it, I mean, rustic. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I love when I have pie crust in the freezer and a can of pie filling, because I can do almost anything with that into a quick dessert. We're gonna put a little bit of glaze on these, and they're gonna be really yummy for serving. Just a little bit more rolling, nice and smooth. And this final roll kind of levels it so it's all the same thickness. Perfect. Well, it's not exactly perfect, but it's perfect. How's that? Now I am gonna make wild berry today, which is basically my homemade canned, it's strawberries, cherries, blueberries. Sometimes it has a few blackberries in it. But I also thought that apple, like apple pie bars, apple would be so delicious, I think, too. So that will be for another time. Let's open this up a minute quick. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a lip. When I use pie filling, I'm gonna give my crust just a little bit of a lip. And if I was using something like, you could also use pear butter or apple butter. I think you could even spread this with like a black raspberry jam, thin, and then those are thicker, so you don't have to have an edge. We like a little bit of a crispy edge, so I'm just gonna give ours just a little bit of a lip on my crust, so my pie filling won't really spill out, even though it's gonna go on the parchment paper and it won't really make a mess. Just gonna give a little bit of a lip. Again, you'll see it's not perfect, but it's gonna be yummy. Okay, so now we're going to put some pie filling on, and I'm not gonna need all of this, I can see. I'm just gonna spread it on. You can literally go the thickness that you want. You don't want it to be as thick as a pie, but you want it to be yummy bars. And you know another thing, you guys, you could do? You could take another crust and you could put a lattice on top of this. You can do so much with frozen pie crust and some pie filling. So the rule of thumb is get it to where you like it, where you think it looks about good and perfect. Filling in a few of my little holes here. Okay, this is looking good. I'd say it's pretty perfect. Still got about maybe a third of it or less left. So now this is ready. I'm gonna put it in the oven. I'm gonna bake it in a hot oven, about 400 or 410, just like I would a pie. And literally, there's no real major recipe for this. I'm gonna bake this for 15 to 18 minutes. If it's not quite done at 18, I'm gonna go a little longer. Okay, so you can be the judge. I want my edges nice and crispy. Whether my filling is bubbly or not, it's not gonna be so important. It probably will be bubbling by that time anyways. Then I'm gonna take it out, I'll show it to you, and I'll show you how you can quickly put a glaze on it and cut it up into bars. So it is done. It looks wonderful. It smells fabulous. I pulled it off onto a cooling rack, and you can just come up and see this golden crust. You can see how golden the crust is and crispy, but yet my pie filling isn't getting baked and too thick, okay? Because that can happen. It's just perfect. So now you can just cut this up if you wanted to, just like this, and I have. I'm actually gonna take it off of the cooling rack for right now, just for the ease of showing you guys. Mine is still quite warm. I could glaze it warm and let it kind of get melty, or I can glaze it cool, and it will, when it's cool, and then it will hold its frosting shape, okay? I'm just gonna glaze it right now to show you guys how I do that, just so you can see it. I've started out with about 1 cup of powdered sugar. I rarely ever measure, but I did measure it. There's 1 cup. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here. I think this is kind of, everybody knows how to do a powdered sugar glaze, just powdered sugar and water. You don't need much at all. If you get too much water in it, then you just add a little bit of powdered sugar. It's easy to fix. So just go really slow with your water. Just want my glaze nice and smooth. Okay, and then I'll show you, I also, when I'm making this to serve and I want it to look a little nicer, I will put it in a frosting bag. You can use a Ziploc, sandwich bag, anything will work, to be able to fill it with one person, one set of hands. Put it in your cup, fold the edges over. Taught my girls this, and when they're doing frosting, this keeps it all neat. And now we just put our frosting right in here, okay, or our glaze in this case. This is just a glaze. And you could skip this step. You can just, like I say, drizzle it on with a spoon, however you wanted to, quick and easy. Then, let's take it out. Now there's nothing sticky in my top couple inches, which is what I want. Okay, I'm also going to snip the bottom with some kitchen scissors, just a little bit. Don't want that to go in my pie. Get rid of the cup. And now I am just gonna quickly give this a real pretty glaze. And that looks pretty good. To cut this and to serve it, you can use a pizza cutter, you can use a knife, simple spatula. You can cut this into any shape bar you want to, long, little mini pieces. That's all I would do, is just cut this up. And again, mine's a little warm, so it's gonna be a little bit messier, but it's gonna be fabulous. And you can just serve these little glazed pieces, and you're gonna love them, guys. I hope you're gonna enjoy these wonderful, quick and easy little wild berry bars that all it takes is your frozen pie crust and a can of filling, not even the whole can, little bit of glaze if you want to, and you can make this up very quickly. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.